This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the lore of the Final Fantasy universe, such as the characters, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Steve-O. Welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and with me today is not Steven, because he is out sick. He's MIA this week. He is sick, recovering from the flu, because it's the flu. It's that time of the year, sadly. But joining me today is my patrons of the show. Awesome people. We have Purple Archer.
Gungaga.
And our newest member, Pike Manier.
Final Fantasy 14. It's my first appearance. I had to do it.
Yes, right off the bat.
And we still have one thing that hasn't been mentioned, though.
Oh, good point. And you almost made me spill it. All right. But anyway, we are here. It's going to be a very loose episode. Going over, villains of Final Fantasy, of just like villain talk. So like, what makes a good villain? What's the villain concept? Would it be cool to play as a villain that's not Strangers of Paradise? Because technically in that game, you don't play as a villain. You play as Jack Garland, who eventually becomes a villain, but not in that game. At the very end of the game. Anyway, this is a spoiler, by the way. Anybody who doesn't already know that we haven't talked about on the show. Anyway, so, with our villain talk, I know TrueSpeak was putting out some stuff in the Discord earlier today about this, and like what makes a good villain, what's the concept of villains, because, we get a lot of villains in Final Fantasy, but compared to, and I saw this comment he posted, which was like, so in Western games, like here in the US and stuff like that, we get games that our villains are pretty stereotypical, like true evil. They're here to destroy the world, so and so, and that's it. Like, it's pretty cut and dry. Where a lot of Eastern games, so a lot of games from Japan or Eastern countries, their villains are a lot more constructive. They're very much more relatable, because a lot of our villains in Final Fantasy are pretty relatable. Not gonna lie. Do they do terrible things to get what they want? Yes, but there's a lot more to them than just being evil. So, I don't know if you guys want to comment on that or what. I know in the pre-show we were talking about like Hojo, for an example, where, Sephiroth in 7 is the overarching bad guy. But like his story alone is like, oh, I can kind of see his point of view. Hojo, on the other hand, is just a complete a-hole and should just die. But
yeah, he nasty.
No, he's the one true evil of 7, without a doubt.
But you
Just
also have Shinra and Rufus and all them, the
true.
Turks kind of
Mm-hmm.
keeping the main guys from their goal. So
Right.
there's
And
like different kinds.
the thing with Shinra and the Turks, specifically the Turks rather than Shinra as a whole is bad
Yeah,
because they're draining the planet dry. The Turks, I mean, they do have a redemption.
some
Uh,
of them.
some of them have not all of them. Some of them have redemptions towards the end, which I mean, if then they go into Advent Children, which is kind of cool.
That's
So
some of my favorite Rude and Reno moments.
yeah, oh absolutely. Their best moments are in Advent Children. But yeah, like I mean, Sephiroth is a very relatable character. You see him at first, it's like, oh, this guy's bad, and then you get to like his backstory, and I was like, oh, this is sad as shit. Um, I can see his point of view. Where Hojo's just a maniacal evil scientist, generic evil scientist.
Yeah, evil cause evil.
Yeah, and they made him way worse in the remakes.
I feel like they
he
tried
was like kind
really
of a
hard.
background villain in the original seven, and now in like the remakes, it's like, oh, he's front and center. Like he's a complete a hole the entire time, and like freaking, I don't know, teasing you with, hey, I have these, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I'm kind of ranting there, but
I played Remake for the first time earlier this year, and that was one of my favorite parts. Hojo is just so despisable. Like, I don't have a better word for it. That whole segment I can't remember what it's called, but you're going from the different areas in like his lab, and he just keeps taunting you the whole way through. Not just through the things that they made him say were different and made him more easy to hate, but you also spend a lot more time hating him through that segment. More times you're fighting through what he's putting you through. So it's a good way of having him be hateable through the story and kind of through the gameplay as well. But I could be ranting there too. So
oh, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And for anybody, this is Pipeneer. By the way, hasn't had a true introduction on the podcast yet. So for everybody out there, Pike, how did you find the show, and what is your favorite Final Fantasy? I had to ask those questions.
okay, the easier question first. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite and potentially controversial. I have not played Rebirth yet, but I do enjoy Remake more than 7. But it feels weird to call
Oh,
that my
all right.
favorite.
Well, I mean, if you play the original 7 and then you get play the remake, understandable. Like, I mean, they made a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of like compared to gaming then and gaming now. There's a lot of quality of life things they have definitely have done that they didn't have in the year
Oh,
of
yeah.
1997.
Yes. So that's the one thing. I know the story's not complete, and I do want to play Rebirth, but as we were kind of talking in the pre-show before we started this, I do not have great technology available to me. So I foolishly pre-ordered Rebirth on PC and I got it downloaded on launch day and it worked fine. I got through like the opening area where you're going through Calm, all that. I played some Queen's Blood. I loved it. I stopped the game to do some homework for a bit, and I came back and the entire game was black with red lines, almost blinding me. I had to re-download the game twice, and now it works, and I'm just scared to play it.
Okay, that's
So,
understandable. That I get as a gamer and someone who works in gaming retail. Understandable.
so I have Rebirth. What I've played, I love. I just don't know if I'm ready. But that was kind of a long way to say 7 and 7 Remake are my favorite. But to say how I found out about, you know what? I'll give you a twofer. The way I found out about Final Fantasy itself was the cloud reveal for Smash. I
Fair.
was kind of
Understandable.
sheltered growing
Okay.
up, so seeing Cloud literally show up on my 3DS eShop page, I was like, who is this? That's how I discovered it. I did some research into it, found out about Final Fantasy, got reinvigorated when Sephiroth got revealed for Smash. And then a few years later, when I started getting into PC gaming, just like the light stuff, because as I said, Rebirth was traumatic. But one of the first games I got was Final Fantasy VII. I played through it while I was actually moving halfway across the country, and I loved it. How I found the podcast specifically is I was on a completely separate Discord, and I swear every time I say this out loud, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Mr. Evilastic, he
Oh,
was
Mr.
actually
Evil.
in
Yeah.
that Discord as well,
Oh.
and it was either him or someone else. I mentioned I was playing Final Fantasy IV for the first time, and either him or the other person misread it as Final Fantasy 14. And he said, "Hey, I know a great place about for Final Fantasy discussion, and if you're wanting to get into 14, they would be a great place to go." So I was like, "Sure, that sounds great." And that day, he sent me the invite, and I popped into the welcome.
Oh my
You've got
god.
recruiters.
Oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing until now. That is amazing. I love that so so much.
Wait till I find
And
out
it,
you hired him. Go get more minions for me.
Fun fact, I didn't ask anybody to do this.
it was the secret plan all along. We've been
Oh my
keeping you in the dark.
gosh.
I'm sorry.
He roped all of us into 14.
I
He
did.
roped-
I did. That's true. I did. It's
I've
great.
played like, I don't know, 8 hours and I'm already a prisoner. It's a problem.
It's such a good game. The thing with and I don't want this to become like a 14 talk, but I mean the best thing about it is the community is amazing for being an MMO. It's very easy to get into the game, like super easy. It's not difficult. I mean, and compared to any other MMO that has class-based systems, you have to make one character per class. Where 14 does the complete opposite and throws that out the window. It's like, hey, you need only one character, period. Unless you want to do ults, you're not required to do jack anything. Just have one character. Unless you're like, you're a crafter. I know like people who have like 8 freaking characters specifically for crafting, which is
I've
insane.
never even touched crafting or any of the of the hands jobs yet. Still, I should.
I've done some crafting. I have not done any of the gathering jobs. The only crafter I've done a little bit of each of the crafting. The highest level crafters in my alchemist, which is level 50, and I forget what I was doing. I was trying to get one, I think a specific like grimoire or something as a just literally for glamour purposes or something along that line. I can't remember. Might have been I think it might have been a staff from it. I don't know. I don't remember. I've done so much in that game. I have like almost 500 hours locked into that game alone. And yeah, and Box Girl in chat is an Omni crafter. She'll craft whatever.
She's craft half of my stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Wouldn't doubt it. That or her or Boom. Boom's a big crafter. So anyway, back to villains. So not only we have relatable villains, but we also have look at Kafka.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He
Kefka's
is
just
literally just insanity incarnate, who just does things on a whim. He's Joker.
yeah.
I mean, he's just Joker for Final Fantasy. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if they somewhat based Kefka off the Joker, because the Joker was around, because Batman came out in the 1930s. So wouldn't put it
That was
past
actually
me.
going to be a question I had because I am newer to the Final Fantasy space. Do we know if Kefka was inspired by the Joker?
Had to have been. I mean, what other maniacal clown villains were out at the time?
Ooh, that's a good call. That's a good question.
I mean, we do have the internet.
And we know that Square is not shy of taking inspiration from other media. I mean, we always say 12 is Star Wars.
I mean, that's true. That's very true. Let's see. Kafka Plazio from Final Fantasy has been compared to the Joker from the Batman franchise due to their shared characteristics, such as being power-hungry and nihilistic. Let's see here. I'm seeing if there's any, like, official talk.
While you're reading that, Purple Archer, to kind of go off your point about inspirations from the series kind of being worn on their sleeves, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Final Fantasy IV also get some inspiration from, I believe it was like Shonen Jump trying to get an ad in there, if my memory's correct?
I haven't heard about that. But
sorry.
The little I've played of 4, I could see it.
So I was basically the moment I finish a game, I will go to the internet and I will find all those 5-hour retrospectives on it. That is my habit. But I can't remember the channel that I found it from, but I can link it when we are done. There was one, and it was either for Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy VI, where I don't remember if it was Sakaguchi, but it was one of the big members of the team. Really, his big goal was to get an ad in, I believe, Weekly Shonen Jump, and he would meet with the editor and talk kind of like what would need to happen for Final Fantasy to be advertised in it. And he basically told him the stories of 1, 2, and 3 sucks. That's a direct quote from the video I found. So he basically took that as a challenge to make 4 as big of a story he could to get an ad in Weekly Shonen.
To give everybody retrospective here, 1, 2, and 3 stories are bland. Not cutting that. Like, number 1 is literally just a rip of D&D. Just
I know that.
Yeah,
it's
literally just there's no
them.
character development or anything. It's just straight up D&D essentially with very little story. And then the same, like, 2 story kind of get bigger, 3 story got a little bit bigger, but not terribly all that much. And then the 4 came out where 4 is like, boom, in your face, this is all story. So
I also want to add context to that. I have not played 1, 2, or 3, so that was not me saying that. Yeah. Box Girl, don't kill me.
I played a fair amount of 1, and I've seen videos of 2 and 3, and obviously I've gone over the stuff of 2 and 3. But by the way, going back to Kafka, yes, he was somewhat akin in to DC Comics villain Joker, that the creator Amino did say, and he wanted to illustrate the character that shared Joker's crazy personality, someone that was completely insane. And he found the development overall fun because when do you ever make an insane character like that?
Oh yeah, like he's kind of like the odd one out of the rest of the villains because
all the other villains have their own like goals that they strive for. That eventually, because they're power hungry, they eventually kind of go nuts. Where Kefka at the start is just nuts.
It's a menace.
Like he's a complete menace to society and everything that you could think of. It's yeah. Oh, and look at that. Box Hero says no judgment. I just finished 1 again today. So there you go. And one's not really long, especially if you play the remaster, like the Pixel remaster stuff, and you have like the 10 times EXP to level up your characters and all that, and you're like one-shotting things. And if you just want to go through the game for the story, it doesn't take a whole lot. I will say, number 1, there's a lot of back and forth. And encounters happen so often. It's annoying as like Pokemon, like old school Pokemon, to where you had it like it was all random encounters on the map. And you were trying to get through a cave, and boom, Geodude, boom, Zubat, and just like, stop, just want to get the hell out of here.
I do not miss random encounters at all. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but I hope we never go back to that.
The only, well, and this is also not for just going off to Pokemon, but the only other game that has it is Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. because it's just like a straight up.
Oh, it's a
copy.
1-to-1. Yeah,
It's almost there's quality of life improvements, and they have some overworld stuff in the underground, but that one is almost a 1-for-1, which makes sense if you're doing something like that. Anyway, but yeah, so villains. I mean, there's so many to talk about. If we just want to talk about villains as a whole, there's just.
I want to mention and ask though, what do we think what makes a Final Fantasy villain iconic? Because you have tons of villains, but then there's the ones everyone knows, and whether that be because they played the game or is it specifically them and things about them.
Right. I would say making a very compelling backstory, obviously, and make it relatable to anyone. Have generic tropes that most people go through life, and then tragic plot twist. I mean, that was Sephiroth's. He was a really cool dude and badass soldier and everything, and then boom, he found his origins, and plot twist, he goes insane. And fun fact, it now tries to take over the multiverse. You learn that in Remake, not just Rebirth, but you learn that in Remake. But anyway, not trying to spoil anything for Pike.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, I mean, that's a really big one for me, is being relatable, but also, I mean, you also have to have the aura farming and the presence. Yeah. You have to have. I mean, Sephiroth is the most used Final Fantasy villain in all of Final Fantasy.
I can see why.
Next to obviously the summons, but even though the summons aren't technically villains, they're bosses. But Sephiroth, they had him in Super Smash. They had him in Kingdom Hearts. Twice. By the way, those fights suck. Those fights are not fun. as much as it should be, because Sephiroth is the main bad guy and strongest character, period. So
there's someone on YouTube that is uploading them fighting Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts with a different Keyblade every day until Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. He's gonna run out of Keyblades real quick.
Yeah.
How is he not already?
First up, yeah, that's good point. No, I don't.
I don't know why he would do that to himself.
First off, I don't want to experience that ever again. Fighting Cloud was a pain in the butt in Kingdom Hearts 1. Let alone when he was like, "Oh, now you have to face Sephiroth," and I was like, "What? No, just no."
I've only beat him in 2. I still cannot beat him in 1. But that's only because I put more hours than anyone should in 2.
One's also very clunky as a game, because it was also, the PS2. Kingdom Hearts 2 was PS2, but it was, at least somewhat refined for combat.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then you have the remixes anyway for the PS3, which they were refined a little bit more, but still clunky. Oh, no, dogs. Oh, sorry if you heard that. But anyway,
I hear no dogs.
Well, you guys don't hear it. You'll hear, the people listening will definitely hear it. My mic's sensitive. But yeah, man, I'm trying to keep on track with the topic at hand. It's so hard not having an outline.
Dude, when you were talking about random encounters, I almost started talking about Earthbound out of nowhere.
Oh God, no.
Earthbound's good.
No. Earthbound's good, but no.
No.
No. I haven't played Earthbound. I was about to go on a Mother 1 tangent.
Oh God.
Okay. There's not a lot of people I know who played Mother 1, so I'll give you that. But villains, I think, when I think of Final Fantasy villains, they got to be sexy. They got to have mommy issues. They got to have a badass weapon. What am I missing?
Sephiroth.
So Clive.
That's literally who you explain.
Is Sephiroth it's not only Sephiroth. You talked about Arden a couple weeks ago.
True.
He's the little pretty boy with maybe not mommy issues, but familial issues.
When you look at Arden versus Sephiroth, like side by
no
side.
competition.
Like no one's going to recognize Arden right out like any person in gaming. Like who's this guy? I know that guy. I don't know him. Who's him?
What about Ultimecia? Oh wait, have you played 8?
I mean,
Are we talking to me?
Yeah.
Or are you talking to Ben?
You haven't started 8 yet, huh? Pick.
No, I have not, but I'm familiar with the name.
Okay, I won't go too much into that then.
We dived into her story a little bit. Don't forget
There is
Amnesia.
one thing I do have
That's
to point
right.
out. There is something I have to point out. Based off of your qualifiers, Purple Archer, did you just call Kefka sexy?
I sure as hell did.
You know what?
I
Respect.
mean, there's like a specific cosplayer who does Kefka, and like he looks good as Kefka. As a straight man, that he still looks good.
We had to put the
I had to
little
put that
addendum
out there. Yeah, I had to put a little identity in it just to give everybody a heads up. It's like, no,
Look.
I don't know.
You could recognize a handsome man from across the room. He's not any less handsome.
Exactly. So
Indeed.
God, except for I think it was hair. Oh yeah, good hair. If we're going back on,
good hair.
Kefka's got a cool little
yeah.
ponytail too.
I am
He does.
convinced
He does.
Sephiroth's salary was paid in his shampoo. That is the only way he turned out like that.
How much conditioner
That's a lot
do you
of
think he
shampoo
uses?
and conditioner. Oh my god, that's way too much. First off, how can you have hair like that? Like that's ridiculous amount of hair.
Oh, yeah.
But here, where are we at on time? We're about halfway through already. Holy crap. That's a quick.
Time for a mid break.
I think it's time for a quick mid-break, and then we'll be back with more villain talk.
This summer, say I do
I am marrying a stranger.
like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts,
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name's Paul Brunson.
more couples,
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
and more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight now streaming. New episodes Thursdays only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
All right, welcome to the Middle Show. We're talking about everything with the podcast. It has nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. And a thank you to TrueSpeak, who is our ultimate tier, our patron. Thank you so much for supporting us, TrueSpeak. We really appreciate you, and especially giving us topics to talk about. Right, and then also thank you to Kevin W, our newest patron. He is on our novice tier, which is our $5 tier. Thank you for signing up, and I hope you get, you're signed up enough to where you can get stickers, because you now get stickers for the $5 and $10 tiers, and the $25 and $50 tiers get t-shirts. So I know the t-shirts just started rolling out for, I think, most of you, if not all of you. Probably, well, all but I think Pike, because I think you're a little bit late. But everybody, everybody who's been signed up for a while, I think the shirts just started shipping, so I did get notification on that. So your first shirt is on its way. And if you want shirts, you can always sign up for the Patreon at patreon.com, Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can also go to Apple and Spotify, leave a 5-star review on Apple with some words, or a nice Spotify comment. We'll read it out loud next time on the show. Let me double check here on Apple real quick, because their review system is not the best. then, shocker, there's nothing. But we do have quite a few on our Spotify. So, Kron, back on our second anniversary with patrons. Fun fact, you used to be able to gift just about anything in the Mog Station. As usual, people mess that up for everybody. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And then our character draft. Oh boy, we have quite a few on here. So, oh my gosh, my dog and then my niece are all yelling at the same time.
Tell Torkel to be quiet.
I wish. So we have Lava Guy 219 says, yes, another character draft, and it was awesome. Great episode. Who is in chat with us today, so thank you, Lava Guy. We have Potato the Stars. Lightning kills multiple gods. She's definitely amongst the most powerful. Fair. And then, Supreme Instinct says, Noctis, Squall, Cloud, Ramza, and Vivi as my 5 aside. You're all toast, LOL. I mean, yeah, but
follow the rules.
You didn't follow the rules here. What we had to do, we had to follow rules. And then Summer of Heroes says, honestly, I'd add the red chocobo to my team just to annoy people.
It would just annoy Steven, I think.
Yeah. But still. Oh my god. They're just all yelling and howling in my house. Why do I live with a toddler?
Being in the Discord, sometimes I feel like the sole chocobo lover. I will defend that red chocobo.
I will defend chocobos. And by the way, Ben Starr even says, "How dare you eat chocobos?"
Ben Starr is unfathomably based for that. I love him already.
Right.
I will say, I went back to Rebirth, and we're doing all the mini games I missed and skipped on. All that chocobo racing, it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Oh, that reminds me. I need to add a specific media thing.
You're a voice actor. When are you gonna do the how it's made voiceover of the Lord?
Yeah, right. Oh god, let's see here.
That reminds me. So when I was looked up your name so I could click the Twitch and all that, you pop up in Google's AI overview. It tells us all about you, Ben, also known as Brandon, a voice actor / broadcaster.
Does it really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you to you after the show. It was really cool. I'm like, he's recognized by Google.
Heck yeah, that is amazing.
Oh, and cosplayer?
I do some cosplay. Is
that true?
I do some cosplay. This is true.
Google knows it.
Google knows it. Apparently.
We're going into the deep lore now. While you're waiting, I actually did find some stuff on what I was talking about with FF4 and Weekly Shonen Jump. The exact quote I found is that it was Sakaguchi who wanted Final Fantasy to get an ad in Weekly Shonen Jump, and he met with the chief editor, Kazuhiko Torishima. I believe I said that right. And his response to Sakaguchi's question of why isn't Final Fantasy in Shonen Jump is, and I quote, "Why is Final Fantasy's story so bad?"
Oh god. Anyway, I think I got this. I think I got it figured out, guys. You ready to hear it?
Ooh, what we got?
I'm Ben Starr, and I adore the Crystal Lore Masters. Ben Starr, I'm the official spokesperson of the free company of the Crystal Lore Masters. Come and join them. Are you feeling good? You'll have me. Here's some emotes that you can use. Ooh, being a Crystal Lore Master is fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Ben
cool.
Starr is our official spokesperson for the Crystal Lore Masters free company. So that was a long mid-break. I'm going to have to cut so much salt and splice so much together. I'm an idiot, but it happens. Ben Starr is just too cool. Yes, he is. He is too cool. Now he knows we exist, so now it should be easier to get him on the show. So just saying. But anyway, I think it's a good time to get back into the actual show. So let's get back to it.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I completely forgot to plug in all my other shows, but you all know where to find me, so it's all good. It's not like you hear it weekly. And you can find us, in all of our Discords. You guys can easily find all that stuff out too. So, not that hard. But anyway, now that we're back and talking more villain stuff, so would you guys want to play as a villain one of these days? It's not Jack Garland from Stranger of Paradise, but an actual villain through a mainline series.
Absolutely. I was even telling True on the idea with Final Fantasy's writing, it would be so cool, especially if they maybe half the game you don't even okay, they try. I know Stranger of Paradise did it, but we'll do it better this time. Half the villain, all of your choices, it seems like you're in the right, but then you see that other side of the spectrum. You see the consequences of your actions and just how damaging you have been. Almost like have you ever played Infamous? The Infamous series?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? What if you could make choices that affect the outcome?
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love that so much. That's the other thing. There has been very little choice mechanics throughout the Final Fantasy series. It's all very linear stories, which is fine. I get the reason why they don't, because they have, every game has a definite end. Period. It's a start and finish to the story. Yes, there's side quests. There's some games have dialogue. 15 had some dialogue choice, but very, very little. But nothing substantial to where it will change the entire game. I would like to see a Final Fantasy game that goes into more of the RPG aspects of modern RPGs, which would be really, really cool to see. Will we ever get that? I don't know, but you never know. Never say never, because it's Final Fantasy. They'd like to, change things up pretty regularly. Actually, almost every time a new game comes out, it's completely different.
I told my friend
that's literally how Final Fantasy works. It's based on integration or innovation. It's based on change. Every game just adds more and more to it and changes things up.
I told my friend who made the joke of, wait, why is there so many Final Fantasies? That's not very final. I said, well, every game's a reboot of the series. You start over.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Not really, but
it's not. It's an anthology.
Yeah.
So it's all within the same series, just each game is part of a different story itself, unless it has an actual sequel. The only ones we care about are 13. We don't talk about 10. I'm sorry, 10.
I'm telling Boom.
10-2. It's a fun game, but the story just makes no sense.
No, I really do not like the choices they made.
Go listen to our Titus episodes, or even Sin Inject. None of the story makes any sense. 10, fine. 10-2. Okay, and then you get into this other side stuff, and then apparently an audio drama back in Japan, which made literally no sense to the story.
I didn't know about that. All right.
Yeah, there was an audio drama that continued the story after 10-2, and it made no sense because Yuna and Titus broke up, and Sin somehow comes back into the world, probably because Titus exists.
Somehow
Sin has returned.
The worst part. Then no. You forgot the worst part.
Blitzball?
Spoilers, I guess, for 10 and 10-2? No. After breaking up, Titus kicks a Blitzball, but no, it's a bomb, and it decapitates him.
Oh, yeah. Titus dies.
It's oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, there's also the whole side game there was a crossover event with Exodus, which you can't play anymore, but the story was canonical to Titus's story because it's everything in between 10 and 10.2 that Titus deals with. Yeah.
I thought 15 had dumb spin-offs.
Oh god, it's bad. It was bad. Anyway, yeah, 15's somewhat made sense because the book was the actual legitimate ending compared to what we actually had in the game. Which is also bad. But anyway, but yeah, no, it'd be really cool to play as a villain one of these days. An actual villain through a mainline game, which would be really, really cool. And actually, it'd be really cool to see you do all this stuff, you take over the world, blah, 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 and you get defeated. Like, you specifically lose.
Ooh, a bad ending in a Final Fantasy would be insane.
Be awesome. Because seeing that and seeing, oh, I did all this, and then you see your character, reflect on life. It's like, oh, I was a complete a-hole through all this. I did all this wrong. These people were right. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it would be bad, but also good at the same time.
Yeah. Like, I love stories.
Which would really be really, really cool to see and us to do.
Oh, yeah. I love stories when the hero or main character doesn't always make it. It's very heartbreaking most of the time. And I'm sure with Final Fantasy, they know how to break your heart. That would be really fun.
Yeah. The 16, the ending. I'm still caught up on that ending. I did not like the ending.
I need to get back to it.
They specifically made it open to where it's player interpretation. Oh. I'm not even kidding. Freaking Yoshi P straight up said, "Oh yeah, we left it open for player interpretation." It's like, dude, this isn't 14. This is 16. I'm sorry. Like, I need to know Clive's freaking state. Is he dead? Is he alive? I need to know. But they left it open for you to interpret yourself. And I was like, I don't like that. Give me a legit, definite end. Tell me he's alive, then okay, cool. Tell me he's dead. Okay, that sucks. It makes the
DLC didn't even explain?
The DLC is before the end of the game.
Aww.
Yeah, the DLC adds more story with the Fallen Rune stuff, which is cool because you do fight. So in the first DLC, Following the Echoes, you go through a Fallen Ruin dungeon, and you actually now it's Schrodinger's Clive, pretty much. And at the very end, the boss fight for that is Ultima. And Ultima, I'm not even kidding you, is almost like when you start the fight, it's a rip and copy of 14's Ultima. And then as the fight progresses, that's when it starts to change into its own unique thing that 16 brought in, which is cool. Not gonna lie, that part was cool. But seeing the fight though was also BS, because the arena gets smaller as the fight goes on, and it's not fun. I beat it by the hair of my teeth, the skin of my teeth, or whatever the saying is. Yeah, no, it's not the fun fight. I only was able to beat it thanks to the pre-order bonus stuff that I had.
Oh, the sword,
where it auto combos for me or auto dodges for me, so where I don't have to get hit and take damage. Yeah, no, that's the only way I beat that. And then the second DLC is specifically Leviathan, which is cool, and you get to learn about why Leviathan wasn't the main story and where it's been all this time, and you get its powers, which is kind of, honestly, because it's the last thing you go to before the actual end of the game, it's kind of like whatever, because its powers really don't help you.
Dang.
So what its icon power is, it literally becomes... Your hand becomes the Leviathan's head, and you use it literally as a machine gun. Yeah, it's really
I gotta
weird.
get back to this game. You're making every time you talk about it, I'm like, okay, I gotta get it because it sounds insane.
The final fight against Ultima, or sorry, did I say Ultima during the first DLC? I meant Omega.
Oh,
that's what I meant, not Ultima. Omega. It's a ripping copy of Omega. Sorry, from the raids. Of
I don't think I've done that one yet.
That's from Stormblood.
Yeah, I haven't hit Stormblood.
That's what I meant, not not Ultima. Ultima is the final bad guy you go through the base game with, who is obviously a completely different Ultima than the one in 14. Disregard all that what I said about Ultima. No, the final fight, though, against Ultima, the Clive versus Ultima, is really, really cool. Not going to lie. But the very ending is very, like, bleh.
On the topic of Ultima, that's one of the few reoccurring Final Fantasy villains, correct?
Yes.
Like, not the same, but almost like a different interpretation.
There's different interpretations of Ultima. I mean, Ultima's also been a weapon. It's also been a spell. It's just one of those reoccurring things in Final Fantasy, much like Sid, or just the summons after Final Fantasy. I think they introduced summons in 2 or 3, because summons weren't in Final Fantasy 1. That's just not a thing. It's just regular spells.
There's no summons in D&D.
Correct. That's why they weren't in 1.
Yeah.
Now,
but like on the topic of the how would you feel if, say, Final Fantasy games had, maybe they don't play a big role, but like Sid and those, there was kind of a villain that always popped in, maybe messed around with stuff, popped out. And it serves as almost like a connection.
I'd be very interested, kind of like a Deadpool thing for MCU or for like Marvel.
Yeah, a little bit.
Box Girl says Gilgamesh. Kinda. I mean, Gilgamesh somewhat does that. I mean, the summons in general are like that, to where they kind of pop in and pop out, but not like a villain per se.
Yeah, I mean, pure antagonist, like, that will try to get in the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that'd be interesting to see. It'd be very curious what... The thing is, that would be extremely hard to do nowadays, because there's been 16 mainline games, let alone the countless side games, so... Nowadays, I mean, I don't think that's plausible, even close. I mean, if it was back, we were back on like Final Fantasy 2 or 3, okay, I can see something. But we're on 16, and it's also.
And we start with 17.
Right? Oh my God! Whoa! Hey, why is Sephiroth in this game?
Okay, now it's got to make sense at least.
Hey. It would make sense with what he's doing currently, so...
True.
Oh, and by the way, if nobody knows, there has been news about the Final Fantasy Part 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4, and we are apparently going to get announcements or talks about it in the near future, so that I do know that. That was recently been spoken about. I think
they said, like, the anniversary is when they kind of plan it, don't they?
I don't know. I think so. TGS, the Tokyo Game Show, is coming up at the end of the month. I wouldn't put it past them talking about it possibly then. If not then, probably the Game Awards in December. If they don't announce anything at TGS, I wouldn't put it past them to do here's Final Fantasy so and so at the Game Awards and have one gigantic reveal, because I know for a fact they'll do something stupid like that. Because it's Final Fantasy. Hope. Yeah, I'm really hoping the freaking titles reunion. I want that so bad. But
it makes the most sense.
They used it for Crisis Core, and it's like, can you not? I mean, we could technically still use it, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, because the other one's just Crisis Core. Final Fantasy VII Reunion. So technically they could, because it is 2 different names. One has Crisis Core.
I almost feel like they intentionally used it for Crisis Core to make us think it wouldn't be 7's third one.
Ooh. Yeah, ooh, and like throw us off, and then they reveal, hey, it's Reunion.
Realistically, what else could it be? Resurrection?
Remake?
Remake.
Part 3 remake. I mean, it's going to be something.
Yeah.
Final
Remake,
Fantasy
rebirth.
VII Part 3. A re-electric boogaloo. I don't know.
That'd work if it was 2.
Renewal?
Ooh, I like that, Buck Scroll Renewal. That has a nice ring to it, not gonna lie.
I guess
and what at the end of the game, because what Sephiroth's doing and everything, they recreate the world.
I mean, isn't that kind of... Well, no, that's not what happens, but that's kind of like what's implied with the original 7, remember?
Kinda, yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense.
Oh, and please, I want them to add the Advent Children stuff. That'd be awesome.
Please, I'm asking for a Dirge and Advent Children.
I mean,
it doesn't. We don't have to go redo through the Dirge. Yeah, so like I want them to.
They already added
that
the
can't
Dirge
be the only
stuff
thing.
They added Dirge in the Intergrade. We didn't get any of it in Rebirth, surprisingly.
That's what I'm surprised.
Except for the flashbacks with Yuffie. That's the only time we saw that stuff was the flashbacks.
But like, I think
so. I have a very strong feeling for Part 3. I know this has gone way off topic from villains. I'm sorry for everybody. It's a loose episode.
No, we're talking about
whatever.
what Sephiroth's doing.
Good point. We are. With Part 3, obviously this is going to be the final part. They're going to bring everything back together. So we obviously we'll deal with the main story, what the standard 7 stuff is. We'll get back into the Dirge stuff with Yuffie and possibly have her own unique story, like her own side story in the main game, which would be really cool to see.
Why not Vincent?
Because he's going to be a playable character.
That's the thing, because they made Yuffie mandatory instead of optional like in the original. So I think Vincent's going to have the same thing, obviously.
Yep, Vincent and Sid are both going to be playable characters in Part 3, just like how like in Remake, Red was was with your party, but not with your party.
A guest character.
Yeah, you couldn't play as him.
Yeah, he was a guest character. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, add Dirge stuff, and then you beat the game, and then, boom, you do Advent Children.
I would
that
even
would
if we don't have to go through the whole events, just...
No, to have their own
shove it in
version of
there.
it. Because, obviously, it'll be a little different from what the actual Advent Children was, because the story will be different.
Yeah.
So that would be really, really cool to see. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just speculations because that's all we have, because we haven't seen jack anything on it. And
they did just they're gonna add Advent Children to what's the mobile game? Ever Crisis. Yeah, they just announced that they're gonna add that.
Well, they're doing a crossover with Advent. Well, they actually are adding Advent Children to the actual story.
Yeah,
where you can play through it. You get outfits for. You can get the outfits for Yuffie, Cloud, Tifa, from Advent Children. They're adding Sephiroth as a playable character finally. Like
Sephiroth?
Like older Sephiroth, not young one, older Sephiroth.
I'm still not re-downloading it, but ooh.
The game's so long. I can't go through that stuff. Honestly, just add the Ever Crisis stuff in Part 3, and then I'll be fine. Or just give me snippets of like cutscenes and redone cutscenes from Ever Crisis about young Sephiroth. Yeah. Please just do that, because I don't want to go and play that game, because I just want to play the Ever Crisis stuff, and I had to play through both Final Fantasy VII and Crisis Core just to get to that, and I already played those multiple times.
Fair.
I don't need to play them for the 5th, 6th time in my life.
I think I also saw Lightning is getting added.
Yeah, they're doing a 13 crossover.
They're doing a 13 crossover, and both Aerith and Tifa are both getting Lightning outfits, which is pretty cool. So,
more gotcha.
It wasn't applicable to the discussion. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good. But yeah, more gotchas. That's purple set. It would be something. I would play it if the gotcha system was characters, but it's freaking weapons. I don't like that.
It's just not a fun system.
It's weapons, and sometimes you can get an outfit. Sometimes.
Some of them cost real money. Like, it's rare that you can pull for it.
I can do that on 14. I'll do that there.
They already got your wallet. They don't need it.
Exactly. Larry got my wallet. So anyway, God, I think that's about it for this episode. I think we're pretty close on time.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys have final thoughts on either like just villains or anything in general for Final Fantasy? I know this episode was really loose. I apologize now for all listeners if you're just like, what the hell are they doing? It was a very loose episode. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
I actually have one question.
Okay, good. Shoot.
I do have a question. For those you guys that saw it, I was debating on if I was going to be able to join this episode tonight, and it was pretty much last minute. So I started brainstorming immediately something I could bring, just like to the discussion. And one question I had for you guys was, in Final Fantasy VI, we kind of had like an ensemble hero roster. Would you guys be interested in the inverse in a future game where it was like an ensemble villain roster?
Ooh.
That'd be cool. I mean,
That
we already
would be
like
interesting.
The idea of playing as a villain is cool. Bring his minions. Let that be your party.
And bring something similar to like the four generals of one, where they're all evil and everything, guarding the crystals and whatnot. But you being the big bad and your companions being like your higher up generals of darkness or whatnot. That would be cool. Not gonna lie, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of had something similar to it from a more standard perspective in 10, where there's like 5 different characters you could call the villain. But that was just something I was thinking of. It would just be kind of interesting to see that inverse of 6, where there's no one main villain character, but you just have like a lot. I don't know. That was just something I was thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Keep the villain sexy. Give him more family issues. Oh, Kuja's another example. Kuja. That one's pretty boy, I think. I haven't played 9.
No, if you're
gonna have to. Steve's gonna have to double check me on that one.
You have to go look at his art. He is definitely a pretty boy. And game pixels, he's meh.
Yeah,
he's meh. But like, go look at it, like the concept art and like his official art. No, yeah, he's a pretty boy. Who has problems?
I've seen the random pictures of him posted in Discord. I can't confirm. He is a pretty boy.
I can't confirm. But yeah, I mean, cool. Well, with that being said, thank you two for joining me today on this very loose and very interesting episode for sure.
It was fun.
We didn't want to skip a week, and you know, we're so close to hitting 50,000. By the way, less than 1,000 downloads to hit 50K. So go listen to that. Go listen to the show, because once we hit 50K, we're a main Robots Radio show, and I get to take that Robots Radio intro out of my sound clips. So it's just
really?
a
That's
main
like
show. It's a main show, yeah, and we get put on the website as a main Robots Radio show, which is really, really cool. So
that's awesome.
Go listen to it. It helps. But anyway, thank you all again for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you.
Thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Final Fantasy lore. You can also find us on Twitter at FFLorecast.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Shop up to 40% off with minimum purchase and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Plus, pay at your own pace starting at 0% APR with Affirm. Terms apply.